Check.
Nigel, you have to flip the button with your thumb.
Yeah.
Flick it with your thumb.
Flick it with your thumb, huh?
Let's start with this. What are we drinking?
Yeah.
So you guys are drinking on what over here? Is that...
I think I have the...
you want the pistachio cream ale.
Yeah, I went... that's a hard word.
Can you say pistachio?
Pistachio.
Pistachio. Cream ale.
Do you have that with Piscetti?
Spaghetti.
Mom's Pistachio? This is the new Eminem song?
Yep. That's good. It's got that little bitterness to it. What are you drinking, Mark?
So I'm drinking Death Blossom. This is
You got to put that mic. You got to put that mic up
number,
there.
So I'm
There you
drinking
go.
Death Blossom, number 12, actually. This is our 12 variation of this beer. Always the same malt, just a couple different hops we switch up. We always have Sultana and Citra in here.
Yeah.
I think this one is African Queen and Callista.
Okay.
I think it's Callista.
Okay.
So we just try to switch it up. I think we're finally probably going to nail down we're going to be canning this pretty soon, so I'm going to have to nail down the highest rated version of it.
Yeah.
So, and that's the one up here in the corner. It's actually one of the flagships. So Death Blossom is one of the flagships. Hammer 7, American IPA is one of the flagships, and the Horns Up Front Pale Ale is one of the
And you've
flagships.
got these Sua
The Sua
Sponte.
Sponte, which is apparently the favorite beer of our bartender. I just saw on the
Oh,
sign.
it is. You're right. I do love that concept, putting the bartender's name
Yeah,
up there.
that was
and then
actually-
I've thought about doing that.
Do it.
That's
because
a cool idea.
We do it next door, too, and then, we just had actually the artist one day was like, what if you guys actually had a spot where your name's up there?
Yeah.
You got a beer, because then you don't... Because normally the question is, people come in,
Yeah.
hey, what's your favorite? Which
Yeah,
one's your
yeah,
favorite?
yeah.
You know, so you automatically have it up there. I think that
like
helps.
that. I like that. I'm going to steal that.
You should totally steal that idea.
R&D.
Totally
R&D,
steal.
rob and
Take it.
duplicate.
Rob and
Take it.
duplicate.
Take it.
Rod and duplicate.
That's how I made my career.
Yeah. You're still making your career.
Look, appropriation. It's what we do.
Yes.
But so Sua Sponte actually is so I homebrewed for a long time. I know you did for a little bit too, Nigel. My wife literally kind of inspired me for a lot of the sour beers I brew. So whenever I'm brewing a sour, I'm kind of like, hey, what do you want me to do now? So that kind of, she's been begging me to make a orange passion fruit sour.
That's a good
for
one.
so long.
I like that a lot.
That's kind of where that came from. That's the second time we've done it, but that's where it came from.
That to me, that's a good Sunday morning beer.
Yeah. That's a good one. Are you going to stand?
Yeah.
I might stand some too. You never know.
I do a little both. I do a little both.
Up, down.
You know.
I'm definitely
I
taking.
could give you a better chair. You want one of those chairs?
No, it's
No,
not,
I'm
it's
good.
Not,
No.
it's
like
not
the
about the
king
chair.
chairs over?
No,
it's not about the chair.
I can't hold still.
I'm kind of the same way.
ADD.
I'll sit down for a while, but I'll probably have to.
And if I sit, then I'm just spinning the whole time.
Yeah.
These are the fanciest
nice,
tap
but-
room stools.
They're nice. I do feel bad when we get some older people in here and they're trying to sit on it and they're moving. And I'm I've had some musicians come in here and they're like, well, I'm going to have to stand because this is just rotating as I'm trying to play. But no, they're nice. I mean, the bearings in them are really cool. One of the other owners actually owns a furniture company, so we kind of get some stuff from him sometimes.
I mean,
You all right
this table has built-in hooks, man.
Built-in hooks, man.
That's fucking badass.
He really fit the good tables for this.
Just gotta find them though.
You just gotta.
Got it.
They're a big old fat.
You know, at your age, you should be able to find it.
That's the phrasing. Should we start the
Do
show?
we actually want to start the show now?
I mean, technically we have started, but not officially.
Well,
so.
as we learned a few episodes ago, that was the super tease.
It is a super tease. Check. I know you got me muted. That's all.
Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, promotional products and design. They cover your brand bumper to bumper with graphic design, promo products, and print. See what Dire Oil Graphics can build for you at direoil.com. That's DYEROIL.com.
Smooth jazz.
Shout out for my dude. I did pay him to do that drop.
Well, we should. You should always pay artists.
Heard, chef, heard. Welcome to Beers with Nigel. It's a show about
They don't call us
beer.
artists, though, so we don't get paid.
I mean, whatever. It's a show about beer and other stuff or other things.
Other stuff, whatever.
We're on the road again.
On the road again.
We're down in the Crossroads in KC. 18th. What do they call this street? It's Brewer something, isn't it?
So they call it, well, technically, I mean, you have Brewers Alley over here that we share Double Shift with. And
Yeah.
But actually, this side of the street, East Crossroads, and they actually have banners up here.
Yeah.
You can't see one right here, but if you look out there, they actually say the East Crossroads.
Run on.
East Crossroads.
East Crossroads. Took us a year and a half to get those banners up, but they're up now,
Yep.
so it's all matters.
But you're staking your own piece of Crossroads.
Yep.
Exactly.
I like it. You have your own taxing district too, and like.
Yeah, there's some stuff like that.
Probably, yeah.
There's a committee.
CID. So don't get into those shit, right?
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, right. We don't want to bore everybody, right?
Tell them where we're at, Nick.
We're at Red Sash Brewing. We've been on the road now.
Yeah.
For several days.
Yeah. And welcome to the show, Mark Geringer. Is that how you pronounce your last name?
That is it, man.
Perfect.
Thanks for having me, Nigel.
Absolutely. We've been talking about it for probably a year and a half.
I know. It seems like every time I beer fest, like, man, we got to get that going.
We got to get on
the
podcast. Yeah.
Something happens, and you know how it is. It's part of brewing beer. You got to push stuff back sometimes.
No, it's all good. But, I mean, let's keep it real. We've been talking about this before you even came in here. Because I think it was, I'm not sure where it was. It was the first time I saw you guys, and I was like, you guys need to do a collab with Pogue, because the military,
great guys.
Yeah.
We just saw them actually at the beer fest.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Great guys.
They're awesome people.
Sam's great. They hired that brewer. They brought him in there. Nice.
That was weak.
No, that was not
weak.
nice. Don't give him fucking credit for that.
That was nothing. Okay, that was a weak one. That was a weak one.
Was that a cry burp?
No, it wasn't even that good.
Why would you even let that go like that?
Because sometimes you got to let it go.
I want you to not put that one on the microphone. I
don't know if I can rewind. The old road machine's good. I don't know if I can rewind.
We're gonna have to. What we're gonna do? We're gonna put a beep on that. Beep beep. Just because it was a terrible.
I do have that button.
Do you have one of those?
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
Keep talking.
Oh motherfucker!
I like that. That's awesome.
What the fuck?
Well, I've not used that on you?
No, you've not used it. You've used the womp 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 or whatever the fuck it was.
And the birthday song. I put that on.
Yeah, happy birthday shit. Yeah. So let's talk about Red Sash, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Mark. Let's talk about your history in beer, because that's all we
have a pattern.
We love the stories of how people got into beer. So let's talk about before you got into craft.
Yeah.
In your younger, poorer days.
Yeah. When you were young and
younger,
poor.
poor days.
What were you drinking back then, Mark?
Oh my God. So I grew up a little bit north, up in the country, up in Kearney. So obviously grew up around bonfires. You drink plenty of light American lagers, all that fun stuff. Busch, Keystone. The lowest of low stuff. So I drank all the early stuff pretty early. Then all of a sudden Boulevard pops around. You get Boulevard, and then start drinking Boulevard wheat, a little heavier.
Do you hear that noise?
Is that me? Is that coming from me?
No, there's some.
It's from back there. I was like, it sounded like static.
No, they're washing stuff out.
Heard, chef. Now
Problems with a small brewery, right?
Yeah. It's all good.
I don't know why that bothered you.
So you were drinking.
So I was just drinking like normal, American, what they called American back then, which is obviously now not American, because most of those companies are owned by European companies. But yeah, just all the light American lagers, and then Boulevard came around, jumped into some Stone, started drinking those Stone IPAs.
What was the Boulevard thing that turned you on to craft?
Obviously, it had to be Boulevard wheat. Obviously, then they had the Calling come out. That was a pretty good one too.
I missed that one.
I actually missed. Like those had some really good hops.
Yeah. I was never a wheat guy. I was a pale ale guy.
Which is great. That's what they launched.
Yeah, but the wheat is just, that was the thing.
I think that was the one that
everybody around here that time, that was. There's different beer.
I don't like wheat beers. No, I take that back. I would drink a wheat beer, but I'm not going to walk in and be like, let me get you a wheat beer.
They're just heavy. They're heavy beers. You know what I mean? So I think that was the biggest thing, just to realize that there's bigger beers out there than just like the light American.
But I don't
beers.
think at that point I didn't care enough to think, it's too heavy or whatever. I'm like, that's not St. Loser beer, right? You know what I mean? Like that, that's our beer.
Yeah, exactly. We actually got a brewery. You know what I mean? Like that was really cool. And I took many tours down there. Oh yeah. When they used to give you the free drinks or whatever, the coins back in the day. When everything was just in one location. Now they got the beer hall. What's going on?
No, let's keep talking. It's supposed to be like a candid photo.
Right,
action shot.
Action shot.
Yeah.
So
there we go.
that's really what it was. And then just started seeing breweries popping up. Got into home brewing. My sister actually bought me a
Mr. Beer.
It wasn't Mr. Beer. It was like the Brooklyn Brew Kit.
That's the second time we've heard
the
that.
other one. Yeah.
Second thing, obviously, I made that beer. It was terrible.
There you go.
Somebody said, there's competition.
Yeah.
No,
I gotta win.
I needed a burp.
Somebody said, I gotta win.
But yeah, I drank that. I couldn't even drink the pale ale, to be honest with you. It was so bad. I tried. Let's just say that. But after that, I already bought a pot. Big enough pot to do those on my stove, and kind of went from there. And then had a buddy show up one day, and he's like, "Hey, you're brewing some beer. Let me throw down with you." So then I got a buddy doing it, and then all of a sudden, me and him went to go upgrade to a 10-gallon, ended up with a 1-barrel system, and then the rest is kind of history. We just started brewing like 20 gallons and would split it up into 5 different gallons.
Look, I'm gonna give it to you. You just created a beer name. Let me throw down with you. I need that to be. Maybe that'll be our collab. Let me throw down with you.
I like it. I
love that. I would love to have that on the shirt.
That'd be nice.
Maybe that could be some merch. Maybe that'd be the collab.
A little collab merch.
Let me throw down with you.
His artist is much better than ours.
If he's right there.
Look, our artist is right there.
I mean, hey,
it's a low bar.
You can't dog yourself.
This was the highlight of his art career right here.
Hey,
the fucking sticker is fucking epic.
I've seen it before, and I love it.
You can thank a lot of Four Roses bourbon for that one.
Did a good job. It did a good job.
Shout out to maybe we can get them as a sponsor.
We should.
Shout out to Four Roses. Goes well with craft beer.
Goes well.
Goes well with everything. I don't know what you're talking about. So do you remember when you kind of flipped the switch? Like, I'm making good beer.
So we did a wedding for a couple of our friends, and it was kind of like one of those things. Like, hey, can I get 4 beers out? And actually that was the first lager we did. It was a Mexican lager, and that Mexican lager literally tastes like corn the week before. I think I lagered for like 1 week. Because you know how hard it is to homebrew stuff. Like I threw it.
Lagered for 1 week.
1 week.
Yeah.
Drank. It actually was. Drinking was actually
terrible.
pretty good. So, but that was the time I had multiple people come up to me and my buddy. They're like, "Man, you guys got to be. You guys should do this."
How long ago was this?
Oh God, that was
love
probably.
the timelines, you know what I'm saying?
I think it was probably about 6, maybe 7 years ago.
Okay.
So it'd been a while, and then obviously.
So that's kind of the boom of like when this shit jumped off down here.
Yep.
That's when the Kansas City boom started. About 6, 7 years ago.
Yeah, and that's what me and we're just seeing these breweries pop up. We're like, oh man, obviously having money to open one was a totally different thing.
I mean,
all you need,
$15,000.
$15,000. Got to have that one rich friend.
Shout out to Sand Hills. That's how they learned the hard way. They thought it was $15,000 to open a brewery. It's a little more than that.
I'd say at least 100. I mean,
well, they thought it was 15, so it was all good.
Oh yeah, that was. I love that line. So we were sure it was only going to cost us $15,000 open up a brewery. No big deal.
So at what point, because we get brewery stories all the time about how good your beer is. Because the wedding beer, maybe it was drinkable, but there were probably some misses. At what point did you like, you know what? I think we can sell this shit.
We started doing we started doing really sours because we're like, hey, the people are doing these crazy beers. Let's just try these sours out. We did one. It was actually we used to do a Halloween party every year at my house, and we did one. Actually, my buddy knows a couple of guys that work at 54th Street, and we ended up making a fruit punch sour. Oh. And it came out. I don't even know if I could recreate it. I literally used like white grapes and like beet juice and tart cherries. And it literally tasted like fruit punch. And the guys from 54th Street are like, if you can make this, we would buy it from you. Me and my buddy are like looking at each other like, it's the first time we ever brewed that thing.
I think that sounds like a mission, though. You got to figure out how to recreate that.
It kind of was. Like, so we just tried. I honestly did some sours with they were kind of wild ale, so I'd get some crazy fruit, from like, Sprouts or something. Like, can I make a beer with this?
Yeah.
Throw it on there for like a month and just see what it would do, and it would turn into these kind of like these wild ale kind of sours. They were, easy to homebrew, a lot easier to do on a massive scale, obviously.
So when you got the kit, were you like, I'm going to brew some shit, or did you just get it as a gift?
I got it as a gift.
Just a random gift.
And I tried it, and obviously I've said the first one wasn't even drinkable. It was just, I tried.
What style was it?
It was a pale ale.
Okay, it was too pale or too ale?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. Who knows how old the hops were in that thing? I mean, but that's the thing when you package those little small ones like that.
Yeah.
But
so what made you go back for another swing?
Just because I already bought the pot at that point. I was like, you know what? Let me try some other beer. So I just started brewing small on a small scale. I think I did a chocolate milk stout, and then I ended up doing like the wife's like, can you make me a beet beer? This is like kind of right where Crane was like. Yeah. Had made
beet
a big, and then they had that whole. That was when that whole story about that they were actually trying to get built right then, and this is when they were talking about that beet beer that had somehow made it all the way out to Japan or something. They were.
Oh no shit!
I don't know if you've heard of those stories.
No, I don't know that story.
One of the original ones that I guess Michael Crane did ended up out that far out.
Really?
I don't even know how, but and so like my wife's like make a cream ale, so kind of got there and started dialing some more stuff in.
Yeah.
Obviously, when a friend came involved, and he's like, "Let me throw some more money in this." It made it a little easier.
Yeah. So, of course, the next question is, because as many people we've talked to, there's that we're home brewing, and then we're like, let's open a brewery.
Let's
make
money
start?
off of it.
Well, so
let's spend money to make money.
Well, I was lucky enough that Pat Pat is actually a homebrew. Obviously we missed it. He had to go and do some things. He actually kind of helped start this with Damon. I know Damon from Strange Days. He still comes in, hangs out with us all the time. He got with him and helped him build this. So whenever they hired me to bring me in, it was just turnkey. They made it so easy for me to do. Pat already had like that Hammer 7 American IPA and that Horns Up Front were all already his recipes. Like he had already dyed those things in, and like Death Blossom was kind of dialed in, but they're like, hey, we want to do this, juicy. And then I was like, let's keep it a rotating beer, because the second one was a little bit different from the first, and I was like, let's just keep it like that,
Yeah.
And now we're to the point where I got to nail it down eventually, because I'm going to can it. So
Yeah. So, the getting to that leap from homebrewer to, hey, I'm going to buy a business. What in your brain thought, this is what I want to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as much as I wish I had one of the owners, I'm not one of the owners.
But I'm saying
I'm one of the head brewers.
But I'm saying to jump in.
So
to
jump in, I took a risk.
Like, as an owner or as a brewer, you still got to make that leap.
Yeah, no. You're going from like.
I mean, that's pretty ballsy to be like, hey, Nick, you and I are going to start a brewery.
Yeah, like hey, we've made a couple of things that we let ourselves drink in the driveway.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to go make it for other people to spend their money on, and come to the neighborhood bar every Tuesday night or whatever.
2 guests ago, shout out to Liquid Intrusion Brewing out of DC.
Oh, cool.
We met him at a brew fest. The following year, he had a brand he had never brewed before, and now
he showed up the one year as a home brewer, like just say, hey guys, what do you think?
Yeah.
And a year later, he's one of the pros. Got a tent,
cool.
brand.
And his distribution around DC in like 20 locations.
Oh, really?
And he learned to brew during COVID.
Oh,
he had never brewed before.
I mean, that's a good point. We all had plenty of time to do something, man. So, makes
fair
sense.
Point. If you're going to do it, that's the time to fucking change your career.
It is, actually. And that's kind of, what's funny is I did that. I actually changed to professional brewing right before that.
Really?
And so then COVID hit, and I actually I trained in the, I like to call it the slums of KC, because it was calibration where I learned how to get my feet wet in the the brewing.
Okay.
That's actually where I got that guy over there, Zach, the other brewer running around. He actually took over after I left, and we all know the rumors and what all went on down there. There's a reason why that place isn't open anymore, but I learned a lot, and what not to do, I guess you could say.
I mean, that's a good education.
Fair, though.
That's a good education.
But I also had other guys in the community, man. Other guys like honestly, Rodney. Beagle.
Shout
Beagle
out
helped
to
me
Rodney.
out.
R.I.P. Rodney.
R.I.P. Rodney. He helped me out at the beginning.
That was a bad motherfucker, though.
Yeah.
That dude.
Bad motherfucker.
That was one of my favorite
Great
dudes,
dude.
man.
Great. And he honestly had some bad rocky past with Glenn at calibration. He was just like, man, you always supported me.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what's up, but you ever need anything, you let me know.
Yeah.
Him and John Conway from Double Shift.
Yeah.
Those guys really helped me out getting started. Let me just say I called him a lot. So I was like, "Are you guys getting annoyed with me yet?" I was like,
and that's kind of the cool thing about the beer community is that happens.
You can call anybody.
Yes.
I mean, and COVID was a great example of that, because motherfuckers was like I remember one time over here at what's the brewery right over here?
Oh, Casual.
No, not Casual. Right here.
Nimble.
Yeah, Nimble.
Yeah.
I remember one time I went over there. I'm like, I think that canner looks familiar. It's from Diametric.
Makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? It's all love.
You're like, I've worked that canner.
So how long have you been here?
So I've been here. It's almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years in September.
2 years.
August, yeah.
Right on.
So it's going good, man. We got some good stuff going on.
Well, it's interesting because this obviously is the old Border Brewing.
Yes.
But the space is still super cool.
Super cool. Obviously, we kind of saw how they did it. We upgraded a few things, not too much though, man. We didn't change too much. They already had everything pretty much turnkey down here. Obviously, I added a couple more taps, which initially was only supposed to be a CO2 tap, and then one day I put 12 beers on it, and people were like, "Oh, so you guys have 12 beers?" I'm like, "Shit, so I had to make another." That's why you see that spout on the other side, because I drill that thing through the. So now people love it though. They walk in here, they see a small brewery, and they're like, "Man, you got 12 beers on tap," and that's just what we love to do. Some of them are small batch, some of them are 10. We got a little 11-gallon system back there.
Yeah.
And got a workshop of brewers here, so. Like there's one there's Jason over there. He kind of helps us with stuff on the side, it's just fun, man. It's fun, like getting guys down here, like that don't really have a chance to do it, and just kind of
you get to have a little beer lab.
Love talking to home brewers walking into.
Well, that's Crane did that for years. They still the small batches, and you know, I had a beer yesterday. I forget where it was from, but then I'm looking at the description of Untapped, and it's some bigger brewery, and it was basically, you know, a scale up.
Oh, scale up. Okay,
of a homebrewer's beer.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And it won a fucking like gold medal at the homebrewers, you know, homebrew con. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, what other business I can come to your business and be like, yeah, I'll give you. Yeah, you can come use my equipment and do whatever you want to do.
And I'll give you all the tips.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I love that. You know, because it shows the connection of Kansas City with home brewers. Obviously, a lot of these places where guys were home brewers first, established these places.
Yeah, everybody. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's great about the local scene out here. We're actually planning on doing a little homebrew competition in September down here.
Oh, no,
cool.
Love to have you guys back for that. If you guys want to do something like that,
yeah.
That'd be fun.
Breaking news.
I love breaking news.
So we're gonna do that. We're also gonna whoever's judging the beers has to take a hot wings challenge after it. So you get to watch everybody.
That's right.
Wonder Twin Powers activate.
Yeah. So you get to watch half of us die after we do it.
When is this?
We're shooting sometime in September. We haven't nailed a date down. We just know September's the date to do it. Yeah.
Because we'll
be quasi-celebrity judges.
So I'm talking with Missouri Mashers. I know you. Do you talk to ZZ Hops? Those guys.
I'm in ZZ Hops.
So maybe run that by those guys because I've been talking to Missouri Mashers about it too. You know, I'd love to get all the groups down here to do it.
Yeah, I definitely. I'll throw that out there. Just give me some info and we'll fucking do that for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. You know what time it is, Nick?
I think I know what time it is. It's
Mystery Beer.
Shout out to Bree.
Shout out to Bree. We love you.
I am wearing my Big Rib hat today. That was so Bree was on the podcast and she kept singing when we do mystery beers. We're like,
oh, love it.
So now we turn it into a drop.
That's the loop.
So here is the mystery beer bag, right?
Oh, okay. I love this.
It's probably from a golf course. We don't know
Probably.
where. Probably.
There's no video today, but air quotes.
Yeah. There's an opener in here. It may or may not be from
Pathlight.
From Pathlight. Okay. Sorry, Tanner.
Nice. Tanner's a good guy now.
No, Tanner's a fucking madman.
Yeah, but you know, like his math is off when he's doing the count.
Yeah.
You know that he notices that in his spreadsheet. So there's a frickin' bottle opener missing.
Yeah. So you get to pick a beer out of here.
Okay, so just should I just reach in and grab something?
Yeah. Phrasing.
Wrap your hands around it and pull.
Just pull. Yeah. So we have a little game. We a game called Guess the ABV. So try not to look at the ABV.
Okay.
No, I should have taped it off. So you can read what beer it is, what style, where it's from, and then we're going to take a little taste, and we're going to try and guess the ABV.
Okay.
The Price is Right rules. Closest without going over gets the rest of the beer.
Oh, I like it. I like it actually.
So feel free to just get in there and just grab one.
Get in there and grab one to see it.
We'll just open it all the way up. Phrasing.
I feel a bottle. I'm gonna go with a bottle. You don't
is
see
there
a lot
bottle
of
in
bottles.
there?
There's a bottle.
There is a bottle in there. No. I forgot there was a bottle in there.
I'm going with the bottle.
That's the fun of the game. You never know.
The packaging.
And you know, sometimes there's even been some homebrews in there that you don't know.
You know what? And there's the opener's not in there. You know why?
Sweet Lord.
Well, what happened the last podcast? We were Strange Days, and the beer stayed in there for a week, and then I had to rinse this out, and I left that and the fucking yeah.
I actually got an old Boulevard one on here, man.
That's old school right there.
Old as hell. I don't even know where I found that at. Let me put this mic down.
You can. That's what we do. You put it down. So, shout out to
who we got there.
That's Darlene Dunn's beer. She gave it to me. Give us a rundown of what that beer is.
Oh, so Zombie Dust. I mean, it sells itself. Let's just say that.
Oh yeah.
If you're a Three Floyds fan, actually, and they just had their big Dark Lord Day. I think a week ago. I think it was a week ago or something. We had some people down here talking about it. I got a buddy, actually the guy that I brew with, huge Dark Lord guy, man.
Okay.
He goes and buys the lot mix.
You get to pour it
every time.
And I told Ray she was going to be involved in this. So.
All right, Ray, you coming over here?
she's making.
She's actually working. She's working.
Yeah.
So she's actually working.
She's ringing the bell for the business.
Look at that. It pours orange and it goes clear. Isn't that crazy?
Well, dude, Three Floyds, these guys are just amazing.
Big thank you for Darlene.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it that way so I can't see the.
Well, I wouldn't be able to read it anyway. So there's.
Surprisingly, I've actually never had this beer.
No shit.
I know all about it. Never had it.
Let's put a nose.
I've had some Dark Lords, but I've never had this one that acts exactly.
Nose. So. Nose is nice.
Ooh, I like that.
That's tasty. That's a good beer.
Oh, it's got a really good malt base to it.
And it's got some dankness to it, too.
A little dank on it.
Little Some of that danky dank.
Little
Dankster. That could be your.
Oh, there's a beer name.
Little Dankster.
Oh, I like that.
Come on. We're going to get her on the microphone, too.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to put it on? We're going to throw her on? All right.
She's got to get on there.
Oh, you got to get on.
You got to get on the mic.
Get the
You got to get on
microphone.
the mic. You got to get.
Yeah.
You got to be official.
Yeah. Introduce yourself. Go for it.
Well, you got the little thumb switch.
Yeah, you got to turn it on. There you go.
Yeah.
This is a horrible idea.
No, it's a great idea.
No, it's a great idea. Who are you?
I'm Ray. I am kind of a manager over here.
Kind of a manager.
How does that fit on a business card? Ray, kind of a manager.
That's another beer name.
I think
That's
they're on the
another
business
beer
card.
name.
I think they're not on
Kind
the
of a
business card.
manager.
Yeah, it actually runs onto the back of the business card.
It's like there's a little arrow that says turn over.
Yeah, turn over.
Turn over. Yeah.
So this is our first mystery beer. It's a, what the hell is it? It's a, is it Imperial IPA? I'm guessing that's what Zombie Dust is.
I think it's a pale ale. Actually.
Is it Imperial Pale? I don't know.
I think it's
Anyway.
you know, it almost drinks like an IPA.
So, do you like it?
I do, yeah.
Okay. So the game is we get to guess the ABV.
Ooh.
What do you?
Closest without going over wins the rest of the
Yeah,
beer.
the rest of the bottle goes to somebody that. Yeah.
Am I allowed to play this while I'm at work?
Absolutely.
Of course.
No, you're
That's the
forced to
point.
play it while
It's
you're
like,
Oh,
you're forced to.
man, how did I ever work anywhere
Be
else?
kind of the not an employee.
Right.
Just made that rule.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna go like probably 7.8.
7.8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going lower.
Oh really? Okay.
I'm going lower. I'm going 6.5.
Okay.
6.5.
What do you got?
I mean, like at this point, I might as well
I've
take
never
a
seen this
lower
much
one.
consternation with
So,
a third.
I'm gonna be.
He really wants to win.
I'm gonna be. Man, I'll do 7. I'll do right at 7.
Okay, where you at?
I'll do right at 7.
I'm going to go 7-4.
7.4. So
7.4.
do you see? He's like 7.4.
4.
I can't read that shit. Who can see the
Yeah.
ABV on there?
I don't know. Let's see here.
Who brought
What
their
is it?
readers
What is it?
today?
Yeah.
It
Actual
is-
retail ABV.
Do we get a drum roll for
Is it
this?
on here?
No.
We need a drum roll on there, bro.
Is it one of those? Don't tell me it's one of those brands you don't have to put the percent on there.
Yeah. Can anybody see it?
Don't make us go to Untapped.
None of us brought our
This might have to
readers
be an
today.
Untapped thing. I think it might be one of those deals. Is because it's what brewed in Indiana. Do they not have to put the
Goddamn
ABV on it?
Indiana.
Do they not have to put the ABV on it?
And what's
What
the
a
name of
lawless
it?
state.
It's Zombie Dust.
The Zombie Dust.
God, I don't see it actually.
This is riveting content right here.
I mean, I'm going to Untap.
No-
Okay, I got it.
What are we?
What are we at?
6.5.
6.5. Oh,
Hey, girl. Hey. There you go.
She
you go.
wins. The beer is
that's, all
hers.
you, that's a 3/4 for you too. So
Winner, winner.
Winner, winner. Now I get a drink at work. Again,
go.
You
still.
don't get to drink at work?
I mean, wait, when does this air?
You got 2 weeks. You're fine.
Oh yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Are you a teacher?
Am I what?
Are you a teacher?
Oh goodness, no.
Oh.
I mean,
But she had that kind of hesitation.
I thought maybe that's why you were concerned because you were a teacher.
Oh no, once upon a time I was almost a therapist though. That doesn't quite count.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know how anybody
What
can
do
be a
you mean-
therapist and not drink heavily.
See?
And once upon a time, I mean, once a therapist, always a therapist.
I mean, now I just tell people to drink about their problems.
I mean,
so
but-
not a great therapist.
I like
I
drink
mean, that's,
through
I
your
feel like that's how
problems.
Yeah,
you are,
that's
Nigel. You're like
better.
a
That's
therapist
better.
behind the bar.
I
Kind
mean,
of like,
well,
you know,
I mean, you know how. You know how you got to be a therapist behind the bar. You know, you got to solve some, maybe not solve some problems, but get some dumb answers. I don't know.
I watch a lot of problems.
Oh, heard. I'm about out of beer, so because the mystery beer is gonna be a little while. We should have another beer. What? I've already had your. No, he had your favorite. The Sua
I can see why that's your
Sponte.
favorite. That's
Yeah,
good.
it's
yeah.
delicious. I just had the. You know what I'm gonna have? I'm gonna have a Death Blossom.
That was going to be my
Blossom.
next
Blossom.
suggestion.
Not Blossom, but Blossom.
Blossom.
I don't know why.
Death Blossom.
I mean, after one or two of those, it might be a death blossom.
He's having trouble talking today.
Bro. No, I'm doing a fine job today. Remember the last podcast? We decided to do
Spitachio. Why don't you talk about the spitachio again?
pistachios. There you go. We tried to do 2 podcasts in one day. It was a bad idea.
Yeah, that was not a.
Yeah, it was.
That
it
was,
It was a long
it was a
one.
Sunday fun day.
It was Sunday fun.
It was a Sunday
we
fun
had
day.
a noon and a 7. Imagine what we did in between.
I'm curious about the 7 one, like how that one went.
Well, when I saw that,
I don't know.
It was a remote one, so we were talking to Bill Street Brewing out of Memphis. So
Okay, cool.
At least it was, But when he showed me a little bit of the
Hit
video,
in the air this coming Friday.
yeah, when I saw a little bit of the video, I'm like, oh yeah, I was lit. I was like, what the fuck were you doing?
We did not do. We forgot to do mystery beers.
Oh, okay.
The whole show.
I think we drank one.
We
beer.
drank one beer.
Oh my god.
We were, yeah.
You guys are already there.
We were all wet.
It was a long day.
He forgot that you forgot about the pit stop at the brewery in between, right before that show.
We went to Alma Mater and
no. We were at Fringe before we went to the show.
Go to Fringe.
Oh yeah, forgot about it. Here we are.
Sounds like a great day.
Nothing wrong with that.
Somebody broke out a mystery beer while we were at Fringe. Like somebody, somebody from their
going to
travels.
Yeah. Are you leaving? He's going to get the beers.
I was going to pretend to work and do that for you.
Well, you know what, Ray? We get to talk to you for a minute.
Oh no.
Oh, let's see. Does she remember her? What were you drinking before you found out about good beer?
Yeah, craft beer.
What were your poor college days beers?
Oh, so I had an older sibling that got me into beer, so I didn't really do the poor college people beers.
You're fancy, huh?
I do, however, always have a case of Bud Heavy in my house, just in case I go fishing or in case I need to make beer bread. So.
Ooh, beer bread.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Nice.
Oh yeah. It's the fastest recipe ever.
I'm
great.
intrigued. I'm intrigued. So what? So you had the older sibling. What were they giving you?
Whatever he was drinking and sneaking me.
What
Like a good older brother.
No, I agree with that. I had an older brother, and you can't
Yeah.
be picky. It's like, oh, that's what you brought me. That's what I'm drinking.
So
Yeah.
was there something that you remembered that you were like, oh, that's my shit? Do you remember?
I do remember there was a pecan praline.
Ooh, heard.
Fancy.
It was so good. It was like a pecan pie brown ale.
I wonder if it was a beta.
They do that one,
That'd
yeah.
be some Abita shit from New Orleans.
I haven't the foggiest idea
But
where it
you
came
remember
from,
that,
but
huh?
I remember that beer.
Wow.
I loved that beer.
So what got you into like, I want to go work at a brewery? What was that? What was that train of thought?
I've been bartending for a hot minute,
Okay.
and then it just kind of luck of the draw transitioned into working at a brewery, and
Okay.
they haven't gotten rid of me yet, which is a bold choice.
I mean,
So-
I feel like you're a safe choice, maybe.
I like your belief in me. I appreciate that.
Just
Look, we're therapists too.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, just the vibe. I feel like you're a safe choice to work at the brewery. I'm just, are you not? Something we need to talk about. Where's HR?
No,
Yeah, Mark is here now.
So she knew Pat before. I mean, you're used to dealing with Pat, so I feel like it was just an automatic.
Yeah, I met Pat when I
He's
was
not hard to deal
bartending,
with. I just
so
got to
Gotcha.
give him a little bit of crap.
Ooh, that's tasty. That is
I
tasty.
love that beer.
Yeah.
You got the horns up front over there too. That's what I gave you. So
Your
that's a
horns,
flagship.
your horns are
like
up front. That hat ain't doing shit. They're under there. They're just flexible. You just put them under there.
When they fold, they've got a hinge.
They got a hint. Oh my God.
Bionic horns.
Bionic horns.
Heard. So
They had the technology. They can make it.
So I want to know more about Ray and her beer career. So what do you vibe with? I know you work here, and I know your favorite beer is Sua Sponte. What other places around Kansas City do you like to go drink beer?
I like a lot of places for a lot of different reasons.
Let's talk about it.
So I
Look,
Let's talk about
the
beer.
doctor
yeah.
is in.
He kind of dropped an octave when he did. Let's talk about
Yeah,
it.
let's talk about it. Show
All
you're-
of my
show you're
feelings.
right.
Let me switch into my jazz voice.
let me go put on some linens. Mark's like, what the fuck?
I love it.
He's the doctor that ends up in court one day.
Oh no.
he'll get out of it. Guaranteed he'll get out of it.
So anyway, yeah. Where else do you like to go in Kansas City? Because a lot of times people listen to this podcast and they don't live here, and so it's good to get somebody else's perspective about. We can wax poetic all day about where we go, but I'd like other people to express themselves.
Everybody's got their spots.
Oh yeah. So one of the first places that I went after I had moved up here was Casual Animal, and
Yeah.
so that was just kind of a default place that I hit
Great
for quite a
space.
while.
Great
Oh yeah.
space.
Yeah, it's hard to give up somewhere you've got a shuffleboard table.
Agreed.
I can't give up that shuffleboard table.
Shuffleboard.
It really is. That's a good first date place because you find out how well somebody can lose in a hurry.
Oh,
Wow.
that's
I
good.
like how
like
well
that
somebody
one.
can lose.
Oh yeah.
No, she said she was a fucking therapist, so it's coming out.
Oh yeah.
When a motherfucker gets mad about shuffleboard, you're like, I can't fuck with
Oh
you.
yeah. Yeah. Red flag.
Total red flag.
Do you
Red
just
flag.
get your phone, tap the Uber for them right then. Like, you're done.
Pretty much, yeah. I'll just sneak away to a different brewery. It's so hoppable in this area. Like,
I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
There's a beer here. It's going to be the Irish Goodbye.
Ooh, yes.
Is that a beer name yet?
No,
it probably is.
I'm sure it is.
I'm sure someone has it. They have all the good names.
We'll just make it Ray's Irish Goodbye.
Ray's Irish Goodbye.
I love it. That means you got to go back there and brew it, though.
I mean, we still haven't gotten to my beer yet.
So she actually has a beer we're doing next door.
Really?
Obviously for them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If, everybody knows, I don't know if you guys know, we're all under the same.
I do, yeah.
thing.
I was going to get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, we were. But the reason I knew it, the last time I was here, I was like, why is there Double Shift tap on? Then I went over there. I'm like, why is there?
Well, it's funny.
I thought it was the Twilight Zone.
It was funny whenever you came here. We had our glyco system went down for like 2 weeks. That wasn't like purposely. Like I was never meant to have Double Shift beer up here. I was just like, I had to put it over there because glyco system down for 2 weeks.
She's doing a little dance as she pours her winning beer.
It happened.
Victory beer.
Winner, chicken.
We would have video, but Nigel let us down.
But
I did.
You can tell them about the beer we're going to brew in a couple weeks. Next door.
So I am weirdly fond of rhubarb.
Yes,
it is. I am secretly a little old lady, and I
love rhubarb.
Oh yeah,
right. I love rhubarb, and
I'm from England, so that's why I love rhubarb.
Oh, that'll do it. It's like my grandma used to make a pineapple rhubarb pie,
Ooh,
and very few of my family members actually like it. Oh, it is stellar.
How do you not like that?
I have never heard that
I don't
combination.
know.
Yeah,
Those two things need to be together.
So what style beer are you going to make?
We're looking at like a pie sour.
Graham crackers in the mash.
We would like to be here for the debut.
Oh yeah.
Unveiling.
I mean, if you show up at the right time, I may or may not make rhubarb pie to go along with it.
Heard, chef, heard. Wow.
I'm excited about it.
And it's funny. So, we laughed about rhubarb because one of our early guests, if you don't know who Melissa Cole is, you should know. She's one of the advanced cicerones in the world. British lady.
Sounds familiar. Okay.
Yeah, just she's
badass.
She's a GABF judge.
Oh, cool.
She's a badass British woman.
She has a hell of a palate, huh?
Yeah. And so we in the beginning of the podcast days, we just threw out a line on Twitter because on Twitter, and I'd met her in England. She was super nice. I said, would you want to come on our little podcast? And
We've done 3 episodes.
And she did. And so it was during COVID, and cool. We did video, and she was in her living room. So
because they were like on their 4th lockdown in England at the time.
She's like, I'm down to do anything besides what I'm normally doing.
And she tells this great story. The first time she was a beer judge, she's like, I was a beer judge with these old, stodgy, fucking British dudes, and they're doing the tasting. And she said, I taste rhubarb. And they laughed at her. Turns out, rhubarb beer.
Oh my god, that's funny.
So she was like,
and she totally got the old man slapped down like,
good. Yeah. So she's like, I don't trust men in beer anymore. That, and if you ever mention hoppy,
you can't say that beer is hoppy.
Yeah, she will fucking challenge.
Oh,
you.
Really?
Yeah, she might get a knife out.
I usually say like dank, or I know people use hoppy a lot, but like.
But her question is,
her thing is, what does that mean?
She's very smart. She's a chef. She's an author. She's a brewer.
So she wants the actual flavors that are coming out, not just like a hoppiness or dank.
Well, most people, if you ask somebody what's hoppy, they have no idea what the fuck that means.
It's bitter.
It's my least favorite thing when I'm behind the bar. What do you have that's not hoppy?
Yeah.
I can get you a seltzer.
Do you want a glass of water?
Really
that, and people ask, because we know where I work, they put IBUs on there. No.
We have them on Untapped, but
nobody really knows. I mean, seriously, very few people know what that means.
And it's relative. It's like if I give you a hot sauce, it might be hot to you, might not be hot to me, right?
Exactly.
Because everybody's palate.
It's always hot to you.
It's always.
You shut your mouth.
I'm in the same boat. It's okay.
Nigel has a sensitive throat.
It's not so sensitive these days. You know what I'm saying? It's phrasing.
Well, that's a different podcast.
That's a different podcast.
Is it though? Beers with Nigel After Dark.
Yeah, there you go.
Notice the voice drop again.
Like the sequel to that old British.
It's like the taxi.
If you're going to say something like that, you got to sell it, right?
It's like the taxi cab confessions, but like you just driving around.
What was the old British podcast? My dad wrote a porno.
I had never seen that one or heard it, so here we are.
It was, it's funny for like 4 or 5 episodes because it's British people talking dirty, which is just funny.
Which is always great. Yeah.
And then after a while, it's like, okay, I'm bored now.
So Ray, do you have a particular style of beer that you like to drink?
I kind of bounce all over the place. I am a seasonal beer drinker. Whatever I'm feeling in the moment.
Are you a stout season person?
Is there a stout season? Answer that question.
There is not a stout season.
Thank you.
Yes.
Because we were going to judge you.
It's right up there with like basic bitch pumpkin spice latte season. Like you can have one any time of year, but people are only putting them out in October.
I had this whole conversation yesterday about the pumpkin spice, pumpkin. Now, none of those beers have pumpkin. Let's talk about it. They don't.
No.
You
It's
can-
all allspice.
It's all allspice.
Yeah, it's allspice. Yeah.
And have you ever
Allspice and
have you ever-
nutmeg.
Have you ever taken a
Nutmeg and
bite out of a
cinnamon
pumpkin, like a raw
There's some
pumpkin?
other things in it.
I mean, there's not a whole lot to it.
Thank you.
No.
So putting cinnamon
squash.
and
Exactly. Yeah.
give me a sweet potato beer. Just do that.
I've heard people use it because they feel like you get more pumpkin
know-
out of the yams or sweet
Yeah.
potato.
You know who
Yeah,
does
yeah.
a sweet potato beer?
Oh yeah, we know who does some
Bree.
Bree does.
Yeah. Everybody knows. Hi, Bree.
We love you,
We
Bree.
love you, Bree.
So we actually are doing a beer next door with her. Actually, it's originally a Red Sash beer. We're actually doing it for. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys know the Bad Ideas.
Yeah.
Recently, Britt kind of passed away, which is really a tragic thing. She's a great person. We're going to kind of dedicate. We started doing a punk rock IPA last year because Pat loves punk rock. I love punk rock. Obviously, Bree loves punk rock. So we started doing it last year, and obviously, Bad Ideas are going to be involved with that. With all that happening now, we're going to kind of be more of an ode to her with that beer. So that'd be kind of fun.
So we've been kind of dancing around.
I was gonna say, can we dig in on the relationship
the
now?
Red Sash and
Yeah,
the
you
Double
can. I mean,
Shift.
you can.
I don't
Yeah,
even
we've kind
think
of been
everybody in
settled.
Kansas City knows.
No, we've been pretty settled with it.
Let's talk about the history of Red Sash and how it came about. And I know it's veteran owned.
Yes.
Kind of give us the background of this place before we jump over next.
Yeah. So the background, obviously, Pat is about Pat Mitchell.
Yeah.
Patrick Mitchell, and actually his wife too. They're Allison Mitchell. They're both actually West Pointers. So that's where the Red Sash comes involved. You get it your senior year, your grad year. Am I right? It doesn't always have to be a senior year. It just could be your grad year, whatever year you're graduating.
Yeah.
And actually, he's hanging on the wall right there, the Red Sash.
Yeah.
And actually, Pat built this place because of one of the guys kind of lost his way. He was in the service for and kind of took his own life.
Oh,
so
no
he
shit.
he felt like there was a missing piece between veterans and connecting them to the community.
Yeah.
And this booming beer scene we have out here in Kansas
Yeah,
City.
Absolutely.
So he just wanted a spot to connect them with,
Yeah.
I mean, and I think he did it really well. He wasn't trying to make it a political thing. It was more based on a mental health thing,
Yeah.
which we need more stuff about.
Oh,
We
yeah,
all know
yeah.
that. So you can see the little, we got a hero quarter up there.
Yeah.
And then obviously that whole wall over there is all veterans,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's really what Pat wanted to do. And honestly, it was just kind of neat to see that. Obviously, there's another veteran brewery in town, Call Sign. Everybody knows Call Sign.
Yeah. And Pogue.
And Pogue. Obviously,
Yeah.
Pogue,
Yeah,
down
yeah.
in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Love both those guys.
That's not Cleveland. It's Cleveland, Missouri.
Missouri. Cleveland, Missouri. Not
Because
Cleveland,
I tell
Ohio.
people all the time, do you know you've been to that brewery in Cleveland?
They're like, Ohio?
Ohio? No. Cleveland, Missouri. A lot of people don't know it's down there.
They're like, where's Cleveland, Missouri?
Yeah.
Go past Loch Lloyd.
Yes.
But no, that's where it kind of comes from, Pat, and then if you look at all the beers, they're all named after something military.
Yeah.
Pat always has a fun time with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want anybody to come down and involve it. It just really, it's kind of cool to see the connection. We brought another demographic down here to the Crossroads. They come down here, they found out they have a spot,
Yeah.
and then they're like, oh man, there's so many other breweries down here.
Yeah.
And it's just
A
cool.
gateway to the gateway.
Yeah, it really was. It was just a gateway. It's just we've been able to do some pretty neat stuff along the way. And
So how did the double shift thing happen?
It's one of those. So if you know Pat and Ray knows what I'm talking about. Pat's kind of a dreamer, and you always want to. I feel like in order to own a brewery or run it, you got to be a dreamer.
Oh, fuck
okay?
yeah.
So
Or crazy.
or crazy. One of the two. And,
both. You can be both.
And Jeremy by the Honda bar can kind of talk about this. Pat will come up and tell us all kinds of stuff he's going to do sometimes. We're like, sounds great,
Yeah.
and we're like, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. So him and Mike just, there was some stuff going on with Double Shift, which is their own stuff. Listen, it was just not being ran as well as it should have been. And that wasn't, it was just a miscommunication between everybody going on.
Yeah.
And so he had an opportunity to take it, and he took it and ended up buying it, and that's how it is now.
Yeah,
And honestly, I always loved Double Shift. It's one of those places I always
same.
come down here, and I always supported these guys. And
It was the first brewery I came and visited down here years ago.
Yeah, it was. I feel like they're always pretty innovative in what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're always pretty progressive, and so we wanted to not. I always knew that, and so I never wanted to stray away from that. So we're just pretty much doing the same thing. Very innovative beers.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got your IPAs, but there's sours on tap.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
So still operating separately.
So operate and separate. We actually have the capacity now to be able to, can some beers over there for here.
Yeah.
I can do some experimental beers over here for there. So it's
Yeah.
like it works both ways. We
That's fucking
we
cool.
did a triple for here for a double shift, so we can, put put a little money into a 3-barrel beer than not have to worry about it not going the way you want to.
Right.
Which luckily we've not had that happen. I mean, I've had a couple beers that went bad on some yeast, but that's gotta happen, man. It sadly happens. Like, you don't ever want it to happen, but stuff like that happens.
It does. Yeast don't give a fuck. If yeast gonna do it, it's gonna do what it's gonna do.
It's gonna do what it's
gonna do. We talk about it all the time. Beer is a living fucking thing.
Yep.
I mean, one of my favorite examples is Tony at Windshift, and he does Solar Tsunami.
They make some really good beers.
Yeah, Solar Tsunami, which is his milkshake IPA, right? And it's orange. It's always orange. It looks like this. It's orange. And then one time he brewed it, didn't do anything different. Fucking damn near clear.
Yep.
Tastes exactly the same.
Yep.
I'm like, you think you're no, the beer is brewing you.
Yep. I mean, I'm drinking a light American lager, and it's 6.1%. Obviously, I don't even know if
is
I can
that
call
6%, bro?
It's 6.1%.
It's just so clear.
It just fermented out and went crazy. So it's like
it looks like a wine.
It looks like a cider.
I know it does, doesn't it?
No, it's too clear for a cider.
It's a little more tinted than it normally is. It's actually more clear than that normally.
Really?
But I mean, like you said, the yeast does its thing. I don't like to kill a beer. I don't like to kill a yeast on a beer if it's doing its thing. I feel like why not? You know, that's the whole point about brewing beer. It's like cooking, man. You know, like one of those things. Like you get a passion,
let it go.
You hear that?
Yeah.
You hear that?
What?
Well, he always I can't. I was like, you
they're
can brew
different.
a beer.
I don't care what you say.
Cook.
They're different animals.
Not sure they're different animals.
I think they're different animals. Yeah.
You could fucking do it. I mean, you've done it. You've done it once in your life.
Well, like Nolan let me push some buttons. I mean, come on.
So
Nolan's got the fancy brewing machines.
So we talk on the podcast. We have 2 rules. Rule number 1, don't die. Rule number 2. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. Yeah.
Because if you're a dick, it ruins your beer karma.
Agree.
And so we talk about beer karma, and so we decided. Nolan was like, "You guys want to brew a beer? Well, let's call it beer karma." So So it comes out the day before Thanksgiving. The first year, I said, "Nick, I know you got a fucking beer recipe. Let's brew a fucking beer."
I didn't really have a recipe.
No, you had an idea.
I had flavors that I like.
That's how it starts. That's how it starts.
That's a fucking recipe. Yeah. It's called flavors. Really? What the fuck, bro? So
they do math. They follow rules.
He wanted a stout, and he wanted cranberry and cinnamon.
Ooh, nice.
And
it was an oatmeal stout with cranberry and cinnamon.
And so
oatmeal stouts.
He did all the brewing things. It was a little less aggressive than I thought it was.
Nigel's still hurt by this.
No, because shout out to Transparent and Nolan. His system is
fancy,
super fancy.
Okay.
So there's a lot less manual labor.
Yeah, man.
And I wanted his ass to get whooped doing manual labor.
Oh, okay.
And he didn't.
He didn't?
No.
He made it by okay?
The only thing he did was a lot of work was his squeegeeing. He didn't do it well.
You know what? I dispute that.
I've got video of you doing it terribly.
My squeegee was fine.
We're not talking about that.
Like she always tells me my squeegee is just fine.
Well,
it's perfect.
I'll ask her when you get home. How about that? So he did that, and it was a rousing success, and we did this whole event. So last year was my turn to do the same base, but a Christmas type beer, and I thought Andy's Mints.
Ooh.
So it was a stout with peppermint. That was weird. So anyway, there's a debate as to which beer was better.
I think it was a tie.
I don't know if it was a tie. There was still a debate.
I was being nice.
So
I won.
I remember you guys brewing, but I never made it out.
I mean, look, I was trying to be nice to him, but mine won.
I mean, if you're going to look in the door, you should come in. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I love a lurker.
Come on in.
We try to keep it
have beer.
Yeah.
No, it's all good.
You guys are fine. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, you might have to talk.
Did you say 4-1?
I was giving him my login numbers since I'm kind of half-assedly not working.
That's all good. He's fine.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Fine. That's what we got Jeremy for, right?
Yeah.
So are you brewing both sides of the alley?
Yeah, so I actually have 2 other brewers that help me. Yes, we are brewing both sides.
Well, shout out who the team is.
So, Zach, you just saw him in here. Great dude, Zach Ross. He just finished up and got the hell out of here because he's actually doing school, too. So I'm sure he's trying to do his school today, too. And then Drew's actually next door. I might be able to round him up. He might have left already.
You want me to go?
You want to go
see
grab
if he's
Drew
still
Graham?
here?
Go grab Drew.
I'll be right back.
He actually is from Red Crow, worked at Red Crow for a long time.
I think I know Drew.
You might know Drew.
Yeah, I probably know Drew.
Damn good brewer, man.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Like out of all we kept a few people from Double Shift. Obviously, a couple of them had left already. But Drew, man, that guy, damn good brewer. Couldn't ask to be set up.
So how's it been? All of a sudden now you've got two breweries.
You got two systems.
There's definitely a lot going on. I don't.
You think?
I don't. It's just trying to balance everything and really. But I will say I feel like the beer has gotten better at both breweries, and the fact that I say that is because there's 3 brewers.
Yeah.
And if you count Jason back there too. He's one of the brewers too. He helps us, and then obviously Pat, the owner's a brewer too. So the more heads you got in it, I think it's just better, man. It just helps out. Yeah. It's easier to dial stuff in. I mean, you understand that too, Nigel. I mean, how many guys you got brewing at Transparent over there with you?
It's Nolan, and we got an assistant. Okay. But to your point, like you take maybe City Barrel or KC Beer.
Yeah.
They've got the Shift Brewers.
Right.
That helps.
It does.
How big are your systems at the 2 places?
So we got the 3-barrel system over here. I have 4 3-barrel tanks and 1 6-barrel tanks, which I usually double batch my lagers. And I actually got a cerveza going on for the summer. Nice. And then we have a little 10-gallon system over too. I use a couple carboys. I have a couple stainless steel small tanks for that. I let Jason do all this fun stuff with that. And then next door we got a 5-barrel system. 7 fermenters are all 10 barrels.
He gone? Well, what's he doing? Is he brewing? What's he doing?
He's finishing some stuff up, probably.
Finishing some stuff. He's
is he dedicated to the job?
He's dedicated.
He's whole ass.
Is he doing cellarman work right now?
I mean, we try to. It's funny. I love when they phrase that.
So funny story. I'll tell you this is a cellarman thing. Our new Connor. Shout out to Connor. He's been at the brewery for a couple of years, and so Nolan brought him in to be assistant. And so, Connor's a little guy. He's a little guy. And so we can't call you Cellarman. So he started out as Cellar Boy.
Cellar Boy. Oh, my God.
And then Nolan was in Utah skiing, and it was the first time that Connor had to cold crash some shit by himself.
Okay.
So he had the instructions, but he didn't have to call Nolan. And we told him, wow. You're
from a boy to a man.
You're no. Hold on now.
Oh,
now he's Cellar Tween.
Cellar Tween. Oh, God. You guys are mean.
So he's angsty. You know what I'm saying? He might leave me alone. Oh my God, I'm the tweener. He's the Cellar Tween. He hasn't made it to Cellarman yet. He's working on that.
Did he go into his room and slam the door?
Probably.
Oh my God.
I'm on the phone.
Oh my God, you got a tween?
I got a teen.
Okay,
he's 16.
That's the same.
That shit sucks.
He's angsty, isn't he?
Yes.
That's my point.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
So anyway, I digress.
No, yeah. I mean, so I kind of just refer to my other brewers as brewers. We're all brewers here, man.
Yeah.
People give me the title of head brewer, but I feel like they were all brewers here.
Well, that's Nolan. Nolan will never, people come in uninitiated. Are you the brewmeister? No, nobody calls themselves brewmeister.
No. If they do,
I'm
probably got a.
He calls himself.
Yeah, you got to kick your own ass. I think at that point, right?
Yeah. On his title, he's owner, lead brewer, not head brewer, lead brewer, because there's other brewers. There's not, but there is now.
That's how it is, man.
We can call ourselves brewers there.
I mean, technically, if you brewed a beer,
can we
just
strut in and see what he does?
Yeah, absolutely.
Just strut back there and start messing with stuff.
No. I would not do that
just
to him.
Start turning the water on and start heating on the kettles.
I feel bad for the conniption fit that would send him into.
Oh, my God.
Well, funny you should mention that. So, a couple years ago, the former taproom manager, shout out to Zach.
Oh, no. I know the story.
No. For some reason, he went up on the brew stand and hit a button.
Oh.
And shit started gushing out the bottom of it.
And Nolan's like on vacation or something.
No, Nolan was going into the
that's right.
the Auschwitz of
exhibit at Union Station.
Oh yeah. The one that which was really
he was going in there, and Zach texted him, was like, "I fucked up." So he goes in there. He has no reception. So for 3 hours, Zach has to ruminate because Nolan hasn't responded that you fucked up.
What did he dump?
About 50 gallons of beer. So.
What did they have automated that was just a lever?
Well, was
he kettle sour or something?
Yes, exactly.
I was going to say he had to be kettle sour. And
so this was a beer that we were talking about it
yesterday.
Did
he get it shut in time? I mean, did he lose the whole thing?
But he lost a bunch because he didn't realize it was coming out the bottom. And so, we talked about it, but this beer was probably cursed from the start because it was one of those things where during the boil, he lost electricity.
Oh my God!
And couldn't finish it. Oh. And so this was the beer that he was like, "Well, we got to do something with it. I'm not dumping all this goddamn beer."
Yeah, so he's gonna kill us.
And so, but the funny thing is, there's video surveillance.
Oh my God! That was. Oh, I can imagine.
So the best part is when I'm doing my brew.
Yeah.
And Zach's there. Zach. Nolan had set a line that Zach was not allowed to cross.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
So I asked Zach the other day. I was like, "Bro," because I do all the social media for fucking Transparent. I'm like, "Bro, it's been a year since you fucked that up. Can we put it out there?" I said, "I want to set it.
Have fun with it.
I want to set it to some Benny Hill music. Speed
Oh,
it
yes.
up a little
Yes.
Oh my God.
What did he get permission?
bit." Reluctantly, yes.
We love you, Zach.
Yeah. Hey, you know what time it is, right?
I think it's time. I think Ray needs to.
Yeah, Ray, it's your
although
turn.
she hasn't finished the beer she won.
I
She's
am
close.
working, sir.
No, we got
Are
Jeremy
you?
over there.
Are you?
Should we make them
If
switch
Pat is
positions?
listening to this podcast, yes, I'm working.
Well, you get to pull a beer. You're next because we got Southwest Boulevard.
We know this one a little.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know this one.
Do you know the ABV? Off the top
I don't
of
know
your
it that
head?
well.
You don't know it that
I
well?
don't know it that well. We're not that close.
Okay, heard. You get to pour it though, my dear. Bring your glass back over.
That's still okay. We got some.
Yeah.
We just filled.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't need to rinse. I don't need to rinse.
We'll be okay. We'll be okay.
No rinsing. Yeah,
It
you can
was.
put that
It
down.
wasn't. It
We
wasn't a
don't
barrel-aged
do this
beer.
show pinky out.
Yeah.
Like seriously, we can mix the glass. It's fine.
So I'm curious. You're a brewer. You're running a brewery. What's the experience been like from, okay, I'm a home brewer, and now fast forward years later, you're like, holy shit, we're actually doing this. What's that been like for you?
It took a while to really set in. You know what I mean? Like really understand. Like, oh, I'm actually doing something I love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then trying to surround myself. First off, right off the bat, I hired that guy, Jeremy, because I'm like, I need a
Where'd you find him?
bartender. Well, me and him were friends. He's like, I don't really want to be closing at 1:30 at ITAP anymore. So, which he loves those guys, but he just is like, hey, my buddy's running a brewery. Let's come over here and start, hanging out. So he pretty much brought him in, brought some other people in, and that helped a little bit, I think. With bring a little of the stress up. Like, help me figure out what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Did you hit the mystery beer button?
I did, but would you like to hear her again?
Yeah,
Because
please.
The dulcet tones of Bree.
Bree Burrows.
Look, it just makes our show sexy.
It's so great, man. Here we are.
Speaking of brewery, you been out there to see your dad's little brewery that they built out there in Leavenworth?
I've heard about it. I've not been out there. You got to plan a trip to go to Leavenworth. Let's keep it real.
Yeah. I'm just glad they got a brewery out there.
Yeah. All right.
Is it inside the prison walls?
Southwood
We'll
Boulevard.
have to go out there to find that one.
I've had this before. I like it.
Me too.
It's not my favorite,
No, it's a lawnmower beer.
It is like, I agree.
but it's good.
It'd be like pool beer,
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Lawnmower beer. I could drink it, pretty much all day.
I mean,
It's a pretty sessionable thing, but
what do we think the ABV is on this?
God, I know it's low.
How low is it though?
How low can it go?
How low can you go?
I want to say 4.9, but I'm gonna go with 5.4.
Okay.
I want to say it's 4.9.
4-1?
4-1?
Oh, I think you probably nailed it.
Yeah, damn.
Now, how well do you play the game?
Now I'm doing that Price is Right bullshit.
Yeah.
I'll take 4.2, Bob.
Where were you?
I said 5.4.
Here's the thing you got to
I was
remember.
way up there.
I never win this
You
game.
might as well take the in the middle there.
No, I'm gonna go.
You
You know
know
what? You said 4 what?
4-1.
I took 4.2.
I'm gonna go 4-3.
See, you guys probably.
We're probably all wrong.
Your actual retail
I
ABV?
just drank it not too long ago. You think I would have?
Are you looking at the ABV when you buy beer? Sometimes.
It depends on what the beer is.
Yep.
It just
Depends on the
what it
occasion.
is. Yeah.
On the
There's
occasion, heard, chef. Let's get some young eyes on this. Who can see that? I can't see.
It's right here. Oh, 4.5.
Oh.
Was that you? You said
No, I said 4.2.
Well, that's
close.
You said 4.3.
You said 4.3.
I said
4.1.
I said 5.4.
Oh, so she wins.
No.
You went 4.3.
I went one above her.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was you.
He prices right at
Because
me.
you said 4.9, right?
But let's
4.1.
4.1. Okay.
Let's keep it real. Ray hustled the whole situation. See her big ass pours. Look how much beer's left in there.
Yeah. I knew I wasn't going to win this time.
You know what? we're banning you from the podcast island. That's a decent beer, though.
It is. I agree. I mean, Boulevard always still makes solid stuff. I mean, their hometown brewery. Obviously, it's great to support some of the smaller guys, but you still got to remember Boulevard started all of it. So
I just wish Boulevard would just give everybody down there just some $100 bills. To all the smaller breweries.
Heard.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I mean,
just walk down the street.
If they did like a hometown, if highlight the hometown.
You know what I would do if I was fucking Boulevard? I would fucking do a collab with everybody.
With every Kansas City brewery.
awesome.
Every quarter, we're doing Red Sash, we're doing Double Shift, we're doing
awesome.
Strange. I mean, what would that do for brands? You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it real, because I'm a soapbox it for a second. Imagine, Diametric used to do TD Tossing, Patrick Mahazy, that hazy IPA that they did, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the beer had been around for 3 years, and they got a fucking cease and desist. Because Patrick Mahomes was not affiliated with any beer brand until they won the Super Bowl, and then the Slapdicks was chugging those fucking... Well, whatever they were chugging,
Curse or something.
And so all of a sudden now, he's affiliated with that.
I'm from the sticks. We say Curse.
That's
fair. Curse. Yeah. Look, cold beer. That's what I call it. Just cold beer.
Cold beer.
And so they got a cease and desist. You can't use Patrick or Mahazy. So now it's just called TD Tossing.
That's ridiculous.
Which I question the Mahazy.
The Mahazy thing is kind of
okay, don't
It
call
could be
Patrick
anybody.
Mahazy, but
it's a
come
little
on.
bit of a stretch. I feel like
But who has more money? If you're
I
going to
know those guys. They talked to me. They were trying to tell me they were trying to get him to sign one of those cans originally.
Yes.
And they couldn't. He wouldn't because he probably didn't know it. I mean,
Well, imagine if somebody of that stature aligned themselves with a local brewery. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That would be crazy.
If anybody would do it, it'd be Pat. But give it time.
He's drinking bullshit though.
Give it time. Give it time. I feel like that's
drinking
the
bullshit, Pat.
See, that's where we need Pat.
Here's his genius though. He only cares about one thing: winning football. I don't think that dude puts his mind on anything but sports balls.
Sports balls.
And going to the,
Well, it's a good thing we should have. So Patrick that actually owns the brewery. He actually worked for the Chiefs, so that'd be a good question for him.
Yeah,
hey man, what's going on? Can we make?
Did you see that he was at the KC Current game on Sunday?
Yeah.
And that picture that was going around the internet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's the most ridiculous fucking bullshit.
I don't know if I saw that one.
No, he was carrying the baby, and everybody was tripping out about his shorts and that bulge in his shorts. I was like, it was the most ridiculous shit. I'm like,
are you kidding me?
That looked photoshopped.
It probably is.
And my thing was, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be a little crass here. I'm sorry, my lady. You're at a soccer game. Why do you have a heart on?
Everybody needs a hobby.
Therapist is coming out. She's like, look, everybody's got their kink, man. It's fine.
Yeah, we don't kink shame here.
I'm just walking around with a heart on.
That's the T-shirt. No kink shaming.
No kink shame.
Or kink shame. Good beer name. It's gonna be a super dirty martini sour.
It'll be dank.
Dank, dirty martini sour.
Dank shaming. Dank shaming. That's the new beer.
I do like that name, actually.
Surprised no one's jumped on a KC Current beer. To be honest with you, with that stadium,
give it time.
Stadium coming in.
Give it time.
Nah, get the fuck out of here.
But that's the thing. It's like you got to go after the big dollars for that. And
is that
he doesn't
in the
need
big dollars?
money.
I mean, no. I mean like KC Current.
No, but like the teams,
KC Current, like the team.
They're going after the big sponsorship.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, I guess they do. Sporting does that beer with Boulevard. That's Sporting KC, whatever. It's a Saison.
Not anymore. They don't.
They did it for
No. Now that's an InBev beer situation over there. It's been for years. That's why back in the day.
Okay.
The beers were cheap. That was back in the day when Rob Heineman, you would show up at the game, he'd be pouring beers for free.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
now, Sunday I was there. I had 2 mango carts and one other beer. Okay. They were 16-ounce beers, 20-ounce beers. $49.
Jesus.
Jeez, no.
Man.
No, Jesus was not there. He wouldn't drink that shit.
Jesus was like, fuck this.
Jesus was out here buying water. It's like,
Jesus, he's making his own beer.
Yeah.
Jesus was a home brewer.
Yeah.
I mean, technically he was. He put water
whatever.
in the wine.
Yeah.
Let's keep
Jesus
it
had
real.
people.
He
make
did
that
something. He
beer
was
for
doing
him.
something.
What do you mean, yeah, people? He said, think.
He said,
His wizard powers could only go so far.
He went like Bewitched. He just did his nose.
Wiggled his nose.
Fucking red wine, bitches.
Did you say dig a dig a dig?
I did. Dig it.
I mean, that's the sound they put on. It's fine.
It was. That's a great show.
Do you think maybe he went genie? Folded the arms, nodded the head.
That's a lot of
Yeah,
effort.
yeah.
That's a whole
Well, yeah,
arm
but
fold
look,
in a
he-
blink.
look, hey, look.
Oh, ambulance.
Might be Catholic. He's all about that show.
I don't know.
Were
I
they
don't know.
Catholics? Was Bewitched Catholic?
No, Jesus.
Is he Catholic?
He was Jewish.
They're Jewish.
Was he
all
though?
of them.
I mean, yeah. According to everybody, he's everything, right?
I'm just saying they like the show, so maybe he did the genie thing.
Maybe he did.
I don't know.
Jesus like Bewitched.
I Dream of Jeannie.
I didn't know he was.
There's a lot of midriff on that show for any Catholic to like it.
That's what made him like it. Hell
Plus, that's why there's so many
Yeah.
Catholics.
yeah. I'm a Catholic. I'm New Orleans Catholic though. That's different.
What's that mean?
It's about Mardi Gras.
Well, you
That's all- you show up for Mardi Gras.
I'm a Midwestern Catholic. It's about
You're
drinking at
recognizing that
weddings.
flag over there, Nigel.
Which flag? Oh, I see you got the New Orleans flag up there. I see.
that's where
Yeah,
Pat grew
yeah,
up. That's
yeah.
where Patrick grew up at.
Yeah.
Not Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Doherty.
Okay, heard. So what's Patrick's story? How did he get in the beer? Do we know this? Can we speak on his behalf right now?
Or do
Yeah.
you want to make
He's
up
not
a
gonna
story?
know.
He's
Yeah.
not gonna make
Like,
it.
if you, like, this may or may not be true.
You
This
pick
is
the
all
parts.
hearsay.
Choose your own adventure.
I think he I think he homebrewed a little bit in the military, and then he got out and he started homebrewing again when he moved out here. And then one thing turned into another thing. He ended up had an opportunity to buy a brewery during COVID, which
Yeah.
I don't think at first he was like it probably wasn't a wise decision because he didn't know what was going on in COVID. But I mean, in the long run, it was a wise decision because I wouldn't be here, and neither would she. So I feel
Yeah.
like it's a great.
It
like-
worked for you guys.
Yeah, it worked out for us.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like when I met him, he was not owning the brewery, obviously, and
Yeah.
he was homebrewing, and he did every, typical guy thing that homebrews. I'm going to open a brewery someday. And I'm like, sure you are, buddy. And I was like, oh shit, he actually did
Sure
it.
you are. Now give me 2 cans.
Oh, you weren't an early adopter for that dream, were you?
I mean, everybody says it that homebrews.
But you didn't believe it though,
I've
did you?
said that. Yeah.
It was just a pleasant surprise. I had every faith in him.
Surprise!
Wow.
Surprise,
That was me. I don't
motherfucker.
want to piss off my boss answer.
Hi, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick, good job, buddy. You're missing out.
No, he's got a good crew, man, down here, and he knows it. He comes down, and listen, he's a blue collar guy, so it's nice to work for a blue collar guy. Not saying that some of these other guys aren't like that, but it's good to it means a lot when a guy comes down and personally talks to the staff and treats them like they're just any other person.
Yeah. I mean, that's good, and the vibe here is cool.
We try to keep
This
it.
is certain. I've been coming to this building forever, and the vibe is always like, yeah, I could fucking hang out here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, how do they even brew anything back there? It's so tiny. And then I worked a wind shift
Yeah.
because it's smaller than that.
Yeah, man.
Wait, he says, here's my shoebox. This is
Yeah.
where I have my
Yeah.
brew system.
And then I went to Iron Kettle, which I was like, you guys are brewing beer here?
Are they even
I
doing their own
haven't been
brewing
there.
anymore?
I've heard of
or
this.
even
Nimble over here?
Nimble. The first time I went over there, I'm like, is that a home
Well,
brew system?
he was brewing in a warehouse for a while, but now he's back to brewing in the
Is
actual
he still
location.
got like the
He's doing the 1 barrel. He had a 3 barrel at one point, but
One barrel.
downgraded
Wow.
back to the 1 barrel.
that's
Like,
homebrewer
if you-
status?
If you're running a brewery on a 1 barrel, you're nonstop.
It's at this point, if I had to do a 1 barrel, I'd be like, man, dude, I don't know if I can.
I'm gonna
handle it.
die.
Like it's gonna be like I'm gonna walk in, on Monday or Tuesday and be like, what do I even have left?
Right.
It's like,
Right.
what's my week gonna look like brewing? Because I know I get hit probably hard. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's great because you can take chances on those small beers.
Yeah.
But
You're
we
never
could
not
never
brewing.
do a first Friday.
Yeah.
yeah.
So what would be? Let's talk about this space and the other space. When somebody comes in here, I'll ask you because you're behind the bar. What should people expect when they come into either space?
I mean, obviously, we've got really great beers at both space. We kind of go different styles, which is nice. If somebody comes over here and they're like, well, I like coffee beers, they'll be like, well, we had Bring Out Your Dead next door. I can promote next door because we're all under the same roof.
That's
Nobody can be
different.
mad at me
That's
for
kind
that.
of cool, though.
That's kind of cool
Yeah.
because you're not
It is
sitting
nice,
business
yeah.
elsewhere.
Yeah, and it is nice even in this area. I know a lot of other breweries promote us. We promote the
Yeah.
hell out of them too. So if we don't have the style that somebody's looking for, like I can't shame that. So I'll send them wherever they need to go. But between both breweries, the beer is always good. We love all of our staff, so they're all just top tier, nicest people.
Yeah.
Sometimes a little too chatty, kind of depending on
Trust me, I know.
which bartender. I'm not calling anybody out, Ryan, but
Ryan.
Which
Wow.
bartender's going.
Where you at, Ryan?
But we love pushing beer. Obviously, it's Crossroads.
Yeah.
The whole point about here is like, you push them to the next brewery.
Yeah.
You try to steer them like, hey, what do you want?
We do the same shit. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the KC way. I have a lot of what I love about this town is I got a lot of people from out of town. They're like, listen, I go to a lot of breweries in other towns, and they never tell you to go drink somebody else's beer.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I feel like I pride ourselves on Kansas City by like, listen, we're a community. We want everybody to just kind of enjoy it. Everybody to
and to go check out every fucking thing.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
that is definitely a thing. People come in here and their last question before they leave is, where do I go next? And we'll send them based on
I feel
whatever
like
they
all
like.
the breweries just push it. They just push business to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, whether it be grains and taps or diametric or transparent.
Because you guys got a good thing going on down at Lee Summit, too.
Well,
man.
yeah.
Really
And
cool
if I'm at grains, I'll be like, hey, you need to go hit smoke or fringe or diametric or goat. Down in Grandview, I'm like, you got
grains.
You got Pogue, you got little grains. I mean, you got fucking Broken Hatchet. So it's
great, man.
And the one thing I love about the Kansas City beer community, everybody knows everybody.
Exactly.
Well, how many people do we know that like come in and they're just on stop 2 of 7 for that Saturday, right? Like they're just hopping. They're brewery hopping.
Hopefully they're Ubering.
I mean, in this area, you can just walk everywhere. It doesn't matter.
Heard.
We met a crew, what was it, a couple months ago that had like a T-shirt.
Oh, they were
They
awesome.
literally called brewers like, hey, can I use your image for a T-shirt? And most brewers like, yeah, we don't care. Like, if you guys doing your own thing, whatever.
Yeah.
They had, 15 stops on there? 12, 15?
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, it was
I was
a holiday or birthday bar crawl, and they organized the whole thing. Their
That's
T-shirts
wow.
are hilarious,
They
too.
do state do this. And they had 12 breweries they hit up. Obviously, some are a little smarter. They're like, okay, I'm going to get a taster of this. 4-pack here.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
But, I mean, they were doing it right. I'm like, it was like their 4th or 5th time doing it. And I was pretty
That's
impressed.
cool.
They were awesome.
That's cool. What's he eating?
I don't know, but that looks good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a burger. Look at that.
What are you eating on over there, Sheldon?
Mid-bite.
Mid-bite.
That's a triple decker.
That's what she said.
That's actually
We don't kink shame.
That's Mahomes at a soccer game.
That's our
That baby got there somewhere, man.
All that meat.
That's actually our graphic designer over there just chowing on that burger.
He's graphic designing that burger right now.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Let's go one more mystery beer before we wrap this up. Well, we got one more beer. We got to have it.
Mystery beer.
I love that. That's Bree's.
We love you, Bree.
I'm gonna have to tell her that I love that.
Yeah. So this last one is beer karma, because when
you put good into the world.
Yeah, when beer comes to you just randomly. So random story. There's a great brewery in what the fuck? Eureka Springs, Arkansas.
Oh yeah.
Called Gotta Hold.
Oh, I don't know if I've been there.
And it's a love story of a brewery. Dave and Wendy, they met. They were set up.
Okay.
And they went to Eureka Springs, and it got a hold of them. So that's the name of the brewery.
It's a beautiful spot.
Yeah. Oh,
I used to go down there as a kid all the time. Haven't been down there since the brewery scene's been popping, but I used to.
Well, it's not really popping. There's two breweries.
Hey,
Hey,
it's
that's
better than
popping.
when I was down there. It was zero.
Heard.
But
so a guy.
And he was a brewer, in Connecticut?
New York.
New York.
Oh,
yeah.
no shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Coast.
a beer friend of mine that I know from Lee Summit.
Yeah.
We were talking about Eureka Springs. Well, come to fucking find out, he's friends with Dave and Wendy. He's like, I'm down there all the time, and I stay at their house. I'm like, ain't that a bitch?
No shit. No shit.
So he's like, you want some beer? I'll bring it back. And so he went a couple weeks ago, and he brought me some beers, and Dave and Wendy said hi. So our last beer is a Got a Hold. I'm not sure which one it is. I pulled it out of the Frigidaire because I had a 4-pack. You want to do the honors?
Sure.
Or should I? Well, you got better eyes than me. You do it.
That's debatable, but
I mean, afraid you have glasses on.
I do have my glasses on at least. Funky Soul Saison.
Oh, Saison.
Belgian style. I had to turn it real quick because I saw
Belgian.
right under there were numbers.
Yeah, you get yeah.
So yeah, you get to.
Okay.
But if you ever go to Eureka, go there. They're really great people. They have one of the best brewery backyards ever.
Oh, I love those.
They've got like 4 acres behind them.
Oh, that's neat.
They've got a hiking trail. They've got a stage.
Ooh.
They got fire pits, Adirondack chairs. It's
So they're doing it right out there.
oh yeah, and you can go in the summer, and it's fine because it's all shaded.
That is ideal.
Yeah, it's a great brewery.
My wife's been wanting me to take it. Now you just like
Bro, just go.
I got.
Yeah.
We haven't been in years.
Yeah,
Because that's a day trip. You can take a day trip from there. Oh, a weekend trip. You'd want to take a weekend trip.
yeah. You want to go at least for one night.
Because Northwest Arkansas is not too far away from there, and they got some good stuff going on.
Yeah,
down
so
there,
I've gone from Eureka, and you can get to like Fayetteville like an hour.
Yes.
You know,
Not too bad.
You know, and if the roads were straight,
Yeah, right.
it'd be a 45-minute ride.
Exactly.
Right.
You get to every time I drive to Arkansas, you get to Arkansas. Oh man, we're 2 hours out. We'll get there.
Well, and then half the counties are dry. So
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah. Because it's funny because Got a Hold, they do a series of barrel aged beers called Crooked and Steep, which is the roads
Oh
getting
my
to
God,
Eureka
that's
from-
awesome. Yeah.
Crooked. I'm like, yeah. Because think about it. If you put your map on it, it's probably less than 100 miles.
No.
But because it's so that. It takes forever to get it. 'Cause there's no once you get off 49 and you try to get there, it's like you go into these little tiny ass towns.
well, that's why it's like it's a biker's dream down there. They all
Well,
love
you know that's the weird thing about that town. You know, Northwest Arkansas is
Mountain bike, right?
Yeah, and
Or both,
bikers,
or both.
and
Both.
bikers.
Oh yeah, the bikers love it.
Because I know there's a bunch of mountain bike trails down there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Bro.
no, but the highways down there.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I
Just
knew a
a
guy.
fun
I knew a
ride.
guy who had a retail shop for all the biker gear. And
They've got
they
a,
killed it every
Really?
year. Oh yeah.
They've got an off-road trail too. Like you go skiing, you got the black and green and red. They got if you have a vehicle,
Oh shit.
$25 all day.
Damn. Okay.
All these different things, or you can rent like a 4x4 and do one of those as well. It's right outside of town. It's really
It's
great.
like fun, but I could just spend the day drinking beer. I'd be happy.
Yeah.
Multitask. Do both.
I mean,
Yeah.
they both sound fun.
If I can sit in the passenger seat and drink while somebody else drives on the
There
off-road,
you go.
Yeah.
That might be
I'm even
the,
happier.
That might be
Exactly.
All right, let's see this saison here. Let's see what's
Alright,
cracking. Ooh, definitely
Smells wonderful.
got that
the little
nose.
fennel, little
Little
Belgian.
banana, little clove.
Well, that's tasty.
Oh, that's very nice.
All their stuff is good.
It's got a sour.
It's
quality
almost
to
got it must have a lower pH than normal because it's a little bit, I don't think it's enough to be in the fours, but it's almost like a 410, maybe 420.
That's nice though because it's the nose. It's that regular Belgian nose,
Oh yeah.
but the taste it almost leans sour. Doesn't
It's
it?
almost like they use like a lighter Belgian yeast, like maybe like an Abbey yeast or something like that, which I like to use sometimes just because if you don't want those big full flavors of Belgian.
That's delicious.
I really like that.
That is really nice.
I do like that a lot.
I saw
Yeah.
the numbers, so I'm not playing.
Okay.
Scandal.
Let's go to the tape. What do you think?
So saisons, I'm gonna go with a 6.2, just because
Okay.
it's like a saison. I feel
Milady?
Like that's
Going 5.8.
the range.
I'm gonna go 5.6.
5.6.
The actual retail ABV, 6.2 exactly.
Yeah.
All right, well, I mean, it just
Kobe.
got lucky on that one. I mean, I just feel like that's a standard for
On
like, really
the
good,
nose.
like saisons that are very easy drinkable. I don't know.
Yeah, I was just thinking 5.6. That was in my head. Yeah,
I'm
that's
surprised I actually got that one. To be honest.
I mean, you know what? Sometimes
It's really good, though.
It's better to be lucky than good.
I agree with you on that one.
I really like that though. That's good.
No,
That's
that
a
is-
nice beer. I'm mad that you got the rest of it, fucker.
Fucking sold, man. That thing is okay.
I feel like we don't have a lot of saisons.
So that's actually the only thing we
Not
don't
very
have on
often.
tap
Yeah.
right now. We try to keep them because I actually have. If you look at our Untapped, we actually have a Belgian
Yeah.
Untapped section. We do a triple. I'm holding off on it because I got a barrel aged version coming out for the actual anniversary.
When is that?
When is
The anniversary is going to be
Second weekend in July.
second July. Yeah, second
Okay.
weekend in July.
Ray knows all.
Thank God. That's why I keep her around, man. She keeps us know her. We're gonna do.
You know what
I
she
went-
did? And she gave you that wink. Yeah, bitch, I do.
They
she
can't get
knows.
rid of my
She
ass.
knows her work.
I keep this place running.
Yeah, I would be in trouble without her.
So Ray, how many versions of saison when people mispronounce it? What have you heard?
Just saison.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the least of our problems with mispronunciations
Oh.
around here.
I get saison a lot.
Oh yeah.
I
Okay.
can see that. I can see that.
I got this the other day. It's a Kolsch, and they said, "Let me get that Kalashi."
A kalashi.
Did they really say it?
Oh.
Yes.
Man,
I've never heard that.
That's a beer name right
Now, granted, you guys have some fonts, so motherfuckers might not be able to see very well.
Yeah,
Right.
there's-
So It's not, he said, let me get that kickstand kolache.
Yeah,
I got you.
Your chalk work is good. It's
you can
high
thank
quality.
this one right here for pretty much all of it.
Is that your chalk work?
All of it.
I do some of the work over
I think
here.
Holly does some of the work.
Yeah,
too.
and then most of Double Shift is mine at this point.
Okay.
So you got some artsy skills, as well as
I will
kind
not
of beer manager.
I will
bar
not
manager
claim
skills.
any of the stuff over here. Next door is all my nonsense.
There's a little more
I'm
credit.
not claiming this bullshit.
No.
This shit ain't mine.
It's a lot more fun drawings over here, which one of our brewers actually does a good handful of
The
those.
PT stud is great, though.
It's easier when you can bring the board down. The board next door, you have to stand on a ladder. So it's not
Yeah, I
as
don't
easy.
love ladders.
Yeah.
She's not a big ladder
Who
fan.
does?
So
Yeah, it
no,
is
ladders
not.
are not good things.
Yeah, and it's a dumb location to put a ladder.
it's not the.
I got the worst ladder story. So it's transparent. So when it's time to get crowler cans, we've got a place called the Mezzanine. It's bullshit.
Like
There's
an actual mezzanine. You guys
It's
actually have a
bullshit.
mezzanine.
No. So you have to get the 12-foot ladder.
Oh my god.
Get up there with the crowler cans. Take empty boxes up there. Load up the cans. Come down the ladder. And then put the labels on. It's the most harrowing thing ever.
It kind of sounds like our crowd.
And it's hot as balls out there. And so, yeah.
Drew could tell you all about where he's storing the clean kegs at now next door because we're out of room. He's putting them on top of the cooler, which is probably about a 12-foot ladder to get up there. So we're kind of there on the way.
Have you ever been to River Bluff in the River Market?
Oh, yeah.
You ever been down to the cooler?
I have not.
You got to go down in the basement.
Is
First
it
of all,
below? Their taps coming up from below.
You have to go down.
Well,
Yes.
River Bluff, KC.
You got to go down. The walk-in cooler.
It's this tall.
It's this tall. So
I was wondering about that because when you look at their bar,
you
it
could
backs
not
up to the
stand
wall.
up in there.
Yeah. You
I have
stand up.
height.
No,
I
you
can't
could
stand
not-
up in a lot of
So do
coolers.
you gotta,
That's my point.
How do you even get in there and change a keg?
You got to stoop.
You waddle.
Yeah, you got to get it low. You got to get low.
We got our buddy with us, Big Ron, who's probably, 5'5", 5'6", maybe?
Who?
Big Ron Dyer was with us. And remember this picture. And he's like this with his hands at his head, and he's touching the ceiling.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'll have to ask Jessica to get a peek on that. I know she's working down there.
No, to do it. I mean, they got to
Get a peek in that
they
cooler.
gotta-
I'm
yeah.
curious now. About
It's a fucking shit show. I'm just gonna call it.
But then you got the basement at River Bluff
Oh, in St.
in
Joe.
St. Joe.
Which is
freaking
you
awesome.
ever been up
it's
there?
creepy awesome.
I haven't. I know where they're at. I've driven by multiple
Yeah.
times.
That-
I was working at the time whenever I was.
Well, that building before before Prohibition was a brewery twice.
So I did hear him say about that.
And
about
so
that, yeah.
you go downstairs in their basement, and there's this hole in the wall, and it's under the street. And
Because that used to be the river.
it's bricked. It's bricked. That's where they lagered,
Oh,
and
so
it's
kinda
still
like,
there.
It's badass.
It's crazy.
Oh shit! So kind of
It's
like
so
kind of like the Western Brewing type of thing. You know,
Yeah,
O'Malley's, that
it's down
situation.
low. It's dark and
That's
dank.
cool. That's cool. I
Yeah,
like
it was.
that.
Yeah. So if you have a good chance, are you guys going to Ales West?
We're not this year, man.
June 4th?
We had so much going on. We did 4 beer fests. We signed up for this
Yeah,
year.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
a lot as it was.
Yeah, yeah.
The guy from Ellsworth, I felt bad because he wanted us to throw a beer to him, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Please throw me a beer." I was like, "Man, I don't know if I'm going to make it up there." I just wanted to make sure I had representation if I went
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah.
Are you guys going up there?
I'll be up there. If you-
I will not.
For me, I'll have like a satchel. I'll have some of your beers, just passing them out. Shit, we can do that shit.
Perfect.
Let's go.
You
Yeah.
be like the Henny Ninja.
I'll be like.
You can be like the Henny Ninja.
So-
Walk around with your fanny pack.
So there's a beer fest we go to every year in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And he has a Aubrey. Shout out to Aubrey. We call him the Henny Ninja. So they do the Friday night before the festival. They have this great bottle share.
Amazing.
And he's walking around with this pouch, and he had Hennessy White, which you can't get in the United States. Oh no shit! And he's like, "You want some Henny?" I'm like, "Yeah."
And he told seriously, like he was stealthy about it. Like he just all of a sudden he'd be over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Want some Henny?
You want some Henny? You want some white Henny? Absolutely. So maybe
Yeah.
I'll be that
So-
guy.
This is the guy we got warned about in DARE classes as kids.
No,
He was the teacher.
he was the one teaching that class because
Yeah.
he was awesome.
Absolutely.
No, so we dubbed him the Henny Ninja.
Yeah. So if you want me to carry some beers
You
up
just
there, I
gotta-
will.
Do I just need to strap a keg to your back like they used to?
The old
Whoa.
Boulevard.
Oh yeah, with
And
the
just, like,
fucking
walk
thing.
around in lines.
With the thing.
Yeah, I was just talking about that this week.
Oh,
Like,
the guys out
when
in Topeka
Boulevard
were
first
the
started.
Tiger,
I'm sure the guys at Ales West would love that.
Do you think Boulevard still has those backpacks somewhere?
I don't know.
Absolutely. In
Because
storage.
that was the greatest thing ever. When they first started at the baseball game, they would carry on kegs, pony kegs on their backs, and it just. That was awesome.
Well, see, I remember actually Parkville, Blind Tiger was doing that one year.
I love Blind Tiger.
And when they're like, people are in line, there's like walk up to you, hey, can you want a beer while you're in line? I was like, actually, I do. Nothing wrong with that.
Somebody should start fucking doing that. Let's go.
Who's going to answer no to that? Do you want a beer while you're in line? Who's going to say no?
Zero people.
Zero people.
All right, let's talk about it. Where do we find Red Sash and Double Shift on the socials?
So obviously, you got Red Sash on Facebook and Instagram. Just Red Sash Brewing on both. We canning a couple of beers this year for Red Sash. Nothing in store. We're trying to hit the store in the market this summer, but obviously Double Shift in the market.
Yeah.
We're working on a little bit switching up the Missouri side of distro, but you'll be able to find a lot of stuff in distro. Definitely on Kansas side. Worldwide's pushing a lot of that to Kansas side.
So Insta,
Facebook. Those are the main two, man. Just come down to the brewery.
You're not on the beer tweeter?
No,
we're not. We do have one.
They're not on the Twitter because I tried to tag them today and it came up with. So I just hashtagged it.
We have one. We just,
Double Shift has one and it hasn't been used in a hot minute.
I think Nigel's an evangelist for the beer Twitter.
Beer Twitter is great.
Is it work? We need to get on it. Are we slacking?
Well, just all you do is just follow all the beer things, and that's all you get in your feed is beer, which is great.
Okay.
And then you get Jeremy Danner as well, but that's fine. That's my dude.
Takes the beer and other things.
What were those things he was obsessed with forever? They were not beer. It was like the cocktails he was always drinking on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Well, yeah. He talks about the cocktails and he talks about his bidet.
Well, he didn't even. They were like, dude, you got something to tell me.
And his edibles.
And his
he loves his edibles.
Well, I mean, that's
who doesn't?
Welcome to Missouri.
Finally.
Hey, we voted on that, so we get it. So,
yeah. The people who are not doing it, should I quote Cat Williams? You not smoking weed? Why the fuck not?
Hey, we did a little.
Get on it, Kansas.
420 festival with Vertical and a couple guys with Double Shift. We try to keep that away from Red Sash just because it's a 50-50 shot between veterans. It helps some veterans. And sometimes it pushes them away. I don't want to overcrowd them with that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Double Shift being more progressive, we've been pushing more stuff out that way. So.
It's funny because last time I was in Oklahoma City, the thing down there is all about the terpene beers. Everybody's, it's this terpene this, terpene that. I'm like,
I saw a couple up here.
Yeah.
What River Bluff did the one with.
But Oklahoma City, everybody has one.
Really?
It's out of control because they got 50-11. How many is that?
That's a shit ton.
That's a shit ton. The dispensary game in Oklahoma City.
Yeah, they've been doing it.
Every old gas station, every old fucking Taco Bell, Pizza Hut is a fucking dispensary. They've got a street called the Green Mile.
Oh, really?
It's probably
Oklahoma City or Oklahoma?
that's Oklahoma City, bro. Man. And it's a 5-mile stretch. It's called the Green Mile. There's probably 50 dispensaries easily.
Good Lord.
It's here. They were
Sylvester Stallone on the picture somewhere.
They're like, let's limit it to so many people per.
Not there. They don't give a fuck.
Let's make some money.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's a Wild West in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
There are no rules.
Hey Nick, where can they find us on the socials, brother?
You can find Beers with Nigel on Facebook, the Twitter, the Instagrams,
the Grams.
You can get Beers with Nigel on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your favorite podcast apps. And Ray, you're the kind of bar manager. You know what?
Kind of half-assedly.
If you got one of them with our Alexa devices, you can even say, Alexa, play the Beers with Nigel podcast.
Sure, you're right.
All right. Yeah.
Oh, and shout out to our sponsors, Dire Oil Graphics,
and Brewview,
Missouri, and Brewview, New Hampshire,
Vermont.
Vermont.
We're awesome to our sponsors.
Sorry, sponsors.
You just plugged New Hampshire for them, so I think
they're going to New Hampshire too.
If there's a New Hampshire one, they just got plugged.
Well, he's going to expand.
If you haven't been in Brewview yet, just hit them up and they'll feature you.
Yeah, they're great. We actually been in there a couple times.
Oh,
they're really good.
Their magazine is in every rest stop
in Missouri.
Missouri.
Yeah.
They do a good job.
Yeah. So what do we miss anything else?
Sure
YouTube. We're back on YouTube. Where else are we?
Although there'll be no video of this one because Nigel forgot his gimbal.
Well, you know what? I'm just a talent. I'm not the producer.
We got to hire one of those? Do we need a producer?
Alana, can you come back, please?
Alana, we miss you. We can't pay you anymore, but we miss you.
I mean, we'll give you free beer.
You know what else?
You've been listening to Beers with Nigel, a show about beer and other stuff, hosted by Nigel Woodbury and that other guy, Nick Parker. Beers with Nigel is poured for you by Dire Oil Graphics, providing bumper-to-bumper graphic design, promo products, and print services. Find them at direoil.com. Beers with Nigel is a proud member of the Fredcast Network and is available on all of your favorite podcast flavors. Find Beers with Nigel on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and ask Alexa to play the Beers with Nigel podcast.